do a lap sal, camera rolling?
Yep.
When you do a lap sal, the motion is only this. It's just that. It's not a swipe, it's just that. So if I chin sal, lap sal, all I did was just bring the hand down. And there's a Chinese measurement called a chun. Some people romanize it T-S-U-N, some people romanize it C-U-N. It's a measurement that you use in acupuncture. They'll tell you to insert the needle 2 chun from point so and so, right? So right behind the wrist bone, 2 chun, or 2 fingers. That's what should be in the center when you do a lap. Your wrist bone shouldn't be in the center. It should be this point back here. Just like if I was lopping on the dumbbell. Same thing with the bong sao. Some people do the bong sao. Wrist in the center. They should be able to cross in the center. This point should be, that's why I make contact. This is my opponent's forearm. His hand will be out there. I'm making contact with his wrist. So that's what you're going to do. Same thing with the gan sao. The gan sao, the wrist bone should be in the center. It should be across the center. So if you do this lap, a center line lap, you want to have it right in the center. Now we do have a central line lap. Out here, but this goes for the center line lap. So make sure that when you do that lap, that your wrist is in the center. That means that you've actually used your body and not just your arms. Okay? So now we're going to do another technique. So this time, I step in, he pops, I chun, and lap. Okay? So when I step in, as soon as he touches me, this goes up. And lock to the body. So practice. As soon as he pops, chun, lock. Okay? But that's what you do to the eye. I want you to do it twice. So I stop. If I go over there, give him my nice elbow. We're greedy for the elbow. Straight out to the eye. Okay? This time, I'm going to go from here. I'm in a front stance, I'm going to step up to a side neutral. Okay? So as I attack, I step to a side neutral, and then I change. See what I did? So when I step on the pops, I punch, and then change again. Okay? So try that. So the footwork is going to be step forward, step up, and then turn. So I'm in a right front stance, I step in and pop, I do the chun, I step to a right side neutral, change to the left side. Okay? Slip. Takes the path of least resistance, like water. So when I step in, he pops, I allow. See that? So as soon as he pops me, I allow it. Step to the side. When I step in, step in. Okay? Try that. Sorry. You saw that thing move through there. See? Move through that. One side to the other. The Lao style goes around there. So Pure style uses a little bit of force. A Lao style is speech. Okay? You want to gain yardage. You don't want to lose yardage. So when I punch and someone knocks my hand, I don't bring my elbow back to go around. I keep my elbow here. I circle around. See? Keep my elbow at the fixed point. There's a rule in all Wing Chun styles. If you notice the lineage, move your jump. Don't move the elbow. Move your elbow. See, my elbow should always be here. Never back here. I can't generate power from you. So when I punch, I circle around. Okay? All right? So remember that. Don't pull it back to the around. Someone can trap you. Just pin your arm in. Okay? Jab at you. In the pocket. Circle around. So I step in. Circle around. Right? You do that for a while. Right? Circle around. So I punch, circle around. Try that. All right. So I go for your eyes. Right? I go here and come around. Right? So it doesn't have to be a punch. This should just be a fake to draw. See? To listen to these spots. Okay? Same thing with the punch. The punch should be a fake. I never have this space. I'm going to move around. So here. So we're going to be parallel, move around, right? Right? So do it like that, don't just stay, move around. Keep it live, okay? I'm going to move the other side. So he throws the punch, see? I go back, so punches, like this. Now he's gonna beat me. He's gonna allow. Right? See? So that's what we're working on now. Good. Got it? So in slow motion, I'm trying to pop it, and he's gonna beat me. That'll make you allow so fast. You see boxers do this a lot. Look. Yeah, they do a lot. Okay? I'm gonna go through some points in the form. The first thing is you start the form off with your feet at a 45-degree angle. Keep a better base. You don't want to stand like this because you're wobbling. When you bring the hands up, it's called basic. You want to squeeze. Tight, hold up your joints and tight. Squeeze. This is to strengthen your ligaments. Because when you hit something, you don't want your arm to collapse. You pull back and elbow to the back. So a lot of people do this, but if someone's behind me, I miss them. So you want to come straight back. It stretches your pectoral muscles. Okay? Try to keep the fist as high up as possible. The reason for that is most Southern Kung Fu styles have a low chamber, so I can use my chest to breathe. It's called thoracic breathing. It's not a weird breathing. You breathe from your abdomen. If your fists are up, it forces you to use your abdomen because it restricts your chest. So you breathe from the abdomen. So the diaphragm pulls down the substate area. Right? So we got this. We're going to circle to the left and circle to the right. A lot of people do this. When they circle, you want to keep your spine straight. You don't rock back and forth. You want your fists to be these two fingers off your body to make you have to focus on that. So while you're doing one hand, like in a blue saw, you have to focus on keeping this two fingers off your body. So using the right hemisphere of your brain in this instance to focus on that hand. If you just lay it here, you're only using one hemisphere of the brain, one side of the brain. Okay? So let's start the form. Stay there. So I know you know what this is for, but I'm going to go over it again. This defines my central line. The place where I can punch, where I can, both my fists will hit the same plane in space without having to turn my body. If I do this to hit you, you're going to feel that sensation. So here's the borders of my central line. My fingertips are even here. My fingertips are even here. So I go as far as I can without turning my shoulder. I'll turn my shoulder over my waist. Now if I go too far, one hand's longer than the other. So for me to hit you, I have to move my body. The same thing if I do a front stance. I'll turn my center away from my opponent to my opponent. My guard is here. My fingertips are here. So I can still hit that same line without having to use my shoulder. If I turn too far, one hand's longer than the other. So this wrist won't hit. I have to turn my body. Telegraph my intent. Same thing as a neutral stance. This is my gauge. My fingertips are over here. Good. So we're going to fight. Okay. Next part of the form. Okay. Go back. Okay. Now the punch. Left fist. Okay. Yes. You start your fist here. When you're going to fight, you start off like this. See? With the closed fist over. See that distance here? So what you do is you place your fist, left hand first. You place your fist in the center, right here, and then you drive it forward from there. Some people start to punch from back here. So no, you just place it there. There's no ceremony. Just place it there and punch up. Okay? So go around. Now the right hand. Okay? Punch. Circle around. Go back. Okay? Tansa. Stop right there. So, let's look this way. You want the bend of your wrist to be parallel to the tip of your nose. So if you didn't have a hand, you could still protect your head with the tansa. So, see here? If this was any lower, his hand would bend. So if someone did a really hard punch, my hand would collapse. So that's why you have to have this parallel to the tip of your nose. Now, some other Wing Chun styles do it down here, and that's all good. I'm not knocking it, but most fighters are here. I'm just going to protect my head. Okay? thumb, the first joint, should be parallel to the tip of your nose. So this part of the palm protects this part of your face. Anything coming lateral. Right? Any lower, I would collapse. Right? One thing I want to show you guys though is you don't jackknife by leaving your elbow here. I pull my scapula back. See? So when I do this, watch what's happening. And the reason for that is, if I have my scapula loose and he resists me, I'm only using the resistance. I'm only using my arm to do a lot. I can't move it if he's stronger than me. But if I have my scapula locked back, even if I can't move him, I can move myself. So I give a good example of this is like this ball. Right? I can't move the ball. I can move myself around it. Advantageous position for strength. So you have to have your scapula pull back. So most people just jack. So when you see this, let me do a form watch. See, my elbow's coming back. Okay, let's try that. You want to pull your fingers back to stretch the muscle tissue. So it becomes taut. So it's like a trampoline effect. If I stretch the muscle tissue, it protects the bone. You can test it yourself. You just hold your hand like this, you can touch the bone. When you pull it back, feel that protection. The same thing when you do a jut. I push my fingers to my right and put in here and protect the radial. Right? Okay, so let's go. See that? So you do this 3 times. Let me go do this. So, he goes to punch it, and I jut, right? And I do it here. Don't do this. Don't do this. I jut immediately. I cure immediately. I don't jut and then go here like that. So don't go left to go right. When you're here, immediately go to the right. Don't wind it up. Don't wind it up. Go back. Immediately go to the right. And on this side, immediately go to the left. The same thing with this part of the floor. Most people do this and they go wind up like that. You go up, you go left to right, automatically. Okay? Continue. This is called a toy pop. Outward pop. So, if I got my left hand here, I envision a square, I push forward to the right hand corner of my square. And it should be even with my shoulder. If there was a line here, I go right even with my shoulder. And pivot on this point. And then strike. This is for a jab. Right? Somebody throws a jab, they pull their hand back, you pocket strike. See? Pocket strike in. Okay? So now once you've done that, stretch. So, do a piece of paper. Now, put your head out. Not letting that paper fall, better touch my hand. It's physically impossible. But what you're doing is you're elongating your ligaments. So your punch is more like a whip. And that's good for you when you get older. You're going to have flexible ligaments and tendons. Right? That's what you're doing in that form. It's not a Tanza. I do this and I stretch it. This is therapeutic. It's internal. See? The same thing when you punch. You see you do a punch. Yeah. You got it? Next. Now you're training for UG. Squeeze them together. Squeeze them. So these 2 fingers support the middle finger. That's the one you're going to use in your strike. So from the very beginning, you learn how to protect your fingers. Otherwise, my hand will collapse. So then I walk by a student and I just have to remove to see if it collapses. Point up, pull back. Okay. So in our palm strikes, there's a few exceptions, but generally we only use this round, this oval-shaped part of the palm, the hyperthenar eminence. I think that's the middle. This part here. So that's what we strike. It's here or here. So the rule of thumb is blocking. See, same thing. The kick came, I blocked it. See? Here. So when you do this part of the form, your thumb should be up. So the kick came, I do this. See? Not the whole hand, I make my wrist. So where are we now? We're at that part. Good. 1, 2. Good. Thumb up. So if you look at this line here, I'm here, a kick comes. See that? Not like this. This has no combat application at all. Okay? Next, the strike. The strike is going to be, see? Same thing, only with this part of the palm. A lot of people go down, it's not down. It's straight back, it's a hit, it's straight to the groin. You would only use one hand in combat. The form does two for convenience. It will only be one. You step here and you dip. Okay? So next, this is forward. So if he gives me a bear hug and I go down like this, nothing's gonna happen. I go forward to break his grip. That's why I have to go out. Okay? You should have fingertip to elbow. So it's almost a perfect grip. Okay, then you're going to drop and strike forward. Sorry, my bad. You can strike out this way, or you can go up. Either way is okay. You can do a fox out, or you can do a side. So you strike out, you come back right over left now. Then you drop the elbow and push forward, strike forward. The jump uses big fist. Feel that? I hook your hand, see? Okay, even with this punch. See how I hook your hand? I'm pulling you in. So that's what this. I use the back of my thumb as a hook. So you don't need much, just a little bit. Then you G this way. So instead of striking straight on, it's called chop it to your fingers. Just before we hit the target, you direct. Down, or up, or out, or in. So this particular one is to knock the eyeball out of the socket. So you can squishy fingers like that. Okay? So you keep the eye, then block down in front. You don't want to come back too far because look, if I was painting something and I went too far down, I would be touching the surface. So this is a block for a kick as well. So a kick comes, I block, and then a punch comes, and I do a down side. Down, down, repel, or bounce. Okay? So we got here, now, flip around, pull back. Now the next pop is a one pop, side pop. You can do it up here, or you can do it here, either way. Okay? So one pop, and palm strike. To the ribcage. Section. Okay. So, does anyone know what this is? This movement here. Say it loud so I can hear you. So basically, this isn't a move per se. It's conceptual. I'm fighting. Something happens. I've left the wing chun parameters. I'm way outside of my central line zone. So this is recovery. I'm back. So you go outside of the parameters and come back to recovery. That's all. It's not a block. This one's a block. This is just recovery. Okay? It's like, oh shit, we'll get back in the wing chun. Okay? Now, one other thing to remember. When your solar plexus is, they call it the sao, the heart. So your wrist in a gansao should never go past your side. So if there was a straight line here, once I get up here, it's no longer a gansao, it's a fuck sao. Risky, rushing. We can fuck sao that way, we can fuck out this way. So don't bring it up too high, keep it low. Okay? So Tom in Cantonese means to spread, like you're spreading butter. So if he throws a punch at me, and I'm a smaller guy, I don't want to block a guy's hand like this, I take all the trauma on this small part of my arm. So what I do is I spread. So if you do a round arm, I spread, see, spread. So when you do this, you're spreading out. You're not flipping to the side, okay? Otherwise that'd be like a karate block. Okay? So, tie, gun, I pivot on this point and spread out. Yeah, pushing out, spreading butter. Now, you don't want your bones out with the wrist bone in the center. If you do a bones out, facing in, do bones out. Stay right there. No, you stay up and stand in front of me. Your elbow's pointing left, put your elbow pointing to my shoulder. See, this is stronger now. You do the wrist in the center, it's weak. So the wrist should be in the center, just like on the dummy. My contact point is to shoot behind my wrist. Okay? So let me show you something. Go over here, let's see this. This is called the mortise, that square hole, which is, most of the things are square hole. And this is called the tendon. So one of the things that why they made this larger is if I do a bone saw here, watch, I'm pushing the left hand corner of the tendon to the upper left hand corner of the mortise. See? And then when I turn, see, it's still up there. Now it's in the right hand corner. That means I have forward intent. Right now I have forward intent. If I didn't, the arm would fall. So I've actually seen some people do the dummy form like this. They've lost contact when they do this. They do this, they do that. So I've made contact. If you pull your arm back, I follow you in. Okay? Okay? So, time, strike. Now that strike can be high, it can be low. I'm not no problem. Yeah, you can do any. You can do this. You can do any one. Okay? So now the chin tucks. You want your palm to be past your arm. So that when you strike, you end up hitting this. So the person who grabs you, you hit them on the wrist, your palm, to make them let go of you. So that's 3 times. So this question has been asked before. Why do we move? 1, 2, and move it over. Do 3. Well, the reason for that is just to confirm that your shoulders were square, that you didn't have one fist out. That's all. Because we never punch out. There's not 2 punches. So I have 1, 2, and I move the fist over. Now I go, oh, my fists were even, so I did the floor correct. Then you close. Okay? Who knows Chum Q here? You guys know Chum Q? Elbow to the rear. So now here, the tension. Gather the chi. Gather the chi. The last second, spring forward. So I want you to use your torso. So JJ, come here for a second. So you know what, stand facing me. You work it hard. I'm pushing forward. Releases automatically. Moving fast. If I do that, I use my torso. You want to use your elbow over. Okay. So these are stripes. The form does 2 hands, so you move the block straight. 1 hand. Okay. So let's go for that. Both sides. So if I was standing square, my ball's going to be out here. See? It's not going to be a center line. A center line bong sao is for a round punch. Center lines for round punch, central lines for a straight punch. Can you see that? Center line. Straight punch. You move your line. central line. So the application for me, I'm here, he goes a straight punch parallel. See? Central line, not center. Central line. And then I knock his hand away. So he punches, I go, because I may want to kick. If I just do this and kick, he can drop his hand or his elbow, my shin. So if I this, I knock his hand away. We align, I can kick or not kick. So what you're actually doing is this. We're going around, away from the front, and popping. You do something very, so that's done 3 times. 2, 3. Now watch my right foot as I pop. I opened up my hip because we only do open hip kicks. And then I kick and circle and land, facing my right hand corner. So the reason we only do open hip kicks is so if this is my small of my back, that's my belly button. My base is this way. If I stand and kick like that. But if you do this, see the base is longer, we have more support. That's why we open the hip up. You don't do close the base. So when you're doing that part of the form, open the hip. Kick. The hip's going to be open anyway because of the technique comes at me. See? My hip is open. It's open hips when you kick out here. So we're at the last one. So over here, we open the hip up and we pop. You kick, circle and land. Don't just kick and fall down. You kick, you circle to get around your opponent's blind side. Arm break, arm break, arm break. Jut saw, vertical palm, vertical palm, vertical palm. Step to the side, pierce the sky. Don't swipe across. If you get hit, first punch could be a fake, and then you get hit. If the person does 2 punches, at least I'm covered. See, I'm covered myself. Okay? Do that again. So you kick, you land. This bonks out in the middle because it's for a round punch. See? Bring the hand up, flop. Don't swipe across. And so here's a good reason for that. A lot of people think you just raise the hand up and bring it up again. Good planning would have to be impeccable. You have to do 2 things. I don't take a chance. So he punches. I do this. And I drop my elbow. And I can go around and block it. Hit. Even if I'm this close. This person, see? So don't do that windshield wiper. That's not the real way. I aim in the mirror. So look. So I block. I'm going to follow this line here. Straight up. Then lock. There's no swiping. So I block, go straight up. Straight up. I'm not going left or right. So just like on the dummy. I block, I go straight up. See? And then go across. So most people trying to move the arm. I don't move it, I go around it. Okay? If I do this, you can push down. And the stress on my shoulder. Push down. If I try to resist it, stress on my shoulder. But I just do this, you go straight up. See, look, I'm just doing this. That's it. If my back is up against the wall, I got to punch. There's no way in the world I'm going to try to bring it across. Because I can't do anything. I'm going to have to bring his hand up. I'm going to block and cover myself. Then step off the line. Step off the block right here. Okay? First one is that when we punch at each other, we punch our like that. You got to start stepping in. Stepping in. See, so if I step in, it's a whole different ballgame. So what I usually do when I have people doing street punches, use the pad of your finger, not the tip. So to do this in distance. We used to blocking stuff from here. That's not what this is. Okay? All right. Do this. To keep it more realistic, go behind your arm. See? So you punch behind my head. Now I have to really raise it up. Strike. Okay? Here goes, right? I step. Oh, this should be set right. I step. On the last one, I go forward. Real application with that, you would step back. Okay? So I'm doing 3. Step, walk south, step, walk south. This time I don't step. I just go straight out. And I do it. Let's go over this. Okay. Back. Okay, do that section. What was the next part? Oh, sorry. Shoot south, out south. So the first one, when you do this, so he throws a round punch, right round punch at me. See? Like I said, this way, okay? But see, he's got his friend there, or there's a table there, and he throws a punch. So I turn this way, and I can say, okay. So the first one is same arm and same leg. The second one is opposite. Right? Okay. Then this bone is central. Now some people just do this. I like to do this back to the guard instead of the start. See? Okay. So we're told that the application, according to the form, do that one. I gave him my back. It's not for a wrong one. I'll show you the application. Let's do that part. For cross leg, he throws a straight punch. See, I'm on the inside. You might feel the other hand. So I'm on the inside, you do the punch. Feel the ankles. Right? Got it? So that's what this is. You come around. Straight punch. Come in. Oh. This is like right here. Right, come in. Get the other. You do a round punch. You do a round punch. Come around. That's right. Okay? So try with the partner. Lock up, receive. A Wu Sao on the inside of the arm. It's going to be on the inside. Just do that part. Don't feel the other punch yet. There's some tricks to it. Wu Sao, right? Front kick, side kick, land. Low bong Sao. Low bong Sao. Low bong Sao. Then we have poke high. And then turn, strike, land and strike, circle around. So when you do the blocks, so this is his leg. I'm blocking, I'm hitting, I'm striking. So a lot of people do this. I mean, have the hand way up here. It should be the same. It's up here, just a little bumps up. So you're getting the leg. Okay? This is, when you do this is hold high. Carrying the sign. In old Chinese funerals, they would have the person's surname. Somebody would be the head of the procession, and they would walk with the person's name. And when they made photography, they would hold the person's picture. So if I was holding a placard or holding a sign, that's what this is called. Hold high. This one's dip jug, palm. Dip jug is this. See the symmetrical. If it's offset, it's. You got something? Yeah, there you go. So really happens. Wait a minute. I'm not dead yet. See? So if you take this away from me, see? That's the gist of that. So those are strengths like I take here and then to the body of the whole high. When you do it, make sure that this Bong Sao hand, the Bong Sao, comes up over your head to protect you. So we're going to work on applications of that. Let's try that section of the form. See, this should be out there. Out there. Now over here. Because the first kick of your feet, you go there, now that's over. This space right here. You got to see in your shirt like this one. So that's where I'm blocking out here. Out here. Okay? Most people do it wrong. The fork shows me going this way. In reality, So you kick the me, you kick them and go. You punch it, so you do it. See? So if he punched here, and I'm blocking like this, like some people will like this block. That's what has to go in east of your eyebrows. Okay? You're not going to really pull off two kicks in a fight. So what happens is, if you're a round punch, I kick and you block my leg. That's enough. Okay? I'm using the back of my hand. We're going to pull it offline. Pull. Pull the muscle tissue and the bone. It's like a pretty sweet. And a lot of you are doing coming back. So some people translate you as thrusting. They say thrusting, but thrusting is slow. So I had a Chinese professor look at the character. He says, when you kung fu, he just read the character. He says, actually it means dark. Like a dragonfly does it, darts around. We should start off that we shouldn't cock it back and swing it. And also it goes out, it's like a knife slicing, not a swipe. It's slicing it. Okay? Try that. Here, so say the kick is going to come on this line. The person trying to kick me in my center. I go up high. Then he punches. Right? Let's just do that. You could go even do more, but let's just do that. So I'm in the front stance, outside neutral. He kicks, block, hit his leg with this. He punches with a round punch. I bring this around. If I'm in the front stance, the same thing. He kicks, step off line, there's a punch. Let's try that. Or you go here, and you go here, and then you turn. All that is showing you, that's conceptual as well. If he throws a right round, I use this hand. If he throws the left round, I use this hand. So this isn't a technique. It's just showing you that you can use the other hand. It depends on what he does. Okay? Distracted. It's like you tell somebody, hey, your shoes need to be tied. So from here, I'm going to move and then strike. He jumps, shoots out, pops out. So if I just go from here, he may just, stop me. So I distracted by moving here. You felt that? Okay? Stand the height. So guys, so here's the next one. So from here, I'm going to pop, down, shoot, and then block like I did low or high. Notice my wrist is in the center. It's a center line block. So this is a distraction, that slap. And then block. Okay? So from the bone south, downward slap, down the pop, cover the line, step off and block. Today, remember? Now, if he does a round punch, and I try to catch here, I have to be really, really strong and I can do this. Plus, I have to be too heavy. We're going to fight. Your heart rate's up, it's fine. So the best thing to do is I rest my arm on this. It's the most important. So you just do a round punch. I got support. I get this judge and just around exactly. So I want to do this. Okay? Yeah. You know, my left side. But we also have a reverse line. Right? Reverse line. So say we're across what he doing. So he throws easy. He throws a punch. There's a punch. See what I've done? Blocked his arm, and when he pulls back, he puts me in. So it's like every time it's so he punches. Now try that. Side palm, finger jab here, whatever you want. Okay? watch, if there's a vertical fist, my hand is going that direction. If there's a horizontal fist, my hand points, my palm points down. Okay? I lob and kick. So I lob and kick. Try that to the partner. Elbow and watch this hand. See? So when you're doing the form, this hand does something. When you go here, this does something. Right? So you hold the straight line. Elbow break. Straight. I only have to move in if he step, it's a full step back or half step back. Okay? Try that with the partner. So in the form you do 3 for repetition, but I want you to just do this. And then kick. You do 1 kick, you do 2 kicks. Ideally, I do 1 kick, and if he blocks my kick, then I do a little kick. But you probably only want to do 1 kick in a fight. So try that for the partner. You stop, 1 kick, take the hand around. Okay, try that. So, 1, stomp kick, right? 1, stomp kick. If he moves, then you kick forward. If he steps back. Otherwise, you just do the stomp kick. So it's 1, stomp kick. If he moves, you kick and then move forward. So try that. Right? You just stand like this, right? Stay at an angle. You want to stay square. So one of the first things, see? To the eyes, back of the nail, to the chin, and then go from there. So try that. Right? And then I got the elbow. So one of the things you got to remember, when somebody's talking trash, don't fold your arms because you may not be able to get them out quick enough. Just stand like this. Go, come on, man. Keep your hand up if that's your guard. I don't want to fight you. Okay? I turn my head this way. In case he throws that punch, he's the back of my head. And then take the arm. Hit bicep, tricep. Right? And I'll show you finishing after this. Be careful, because I can hit it a little hard. Sorry. The difference between a pak and a gam is just energy. They both look the same. So a pak would be, gam would be, I pin it. So when you're doing this, I want you to gam, pin it, pin. And when you do it, step over here, away from the other hand, and then step. Right? And when I'm doing this, I'm pulling, see? I actually want to straighten his arm up to break the joint. So I'm hitting and pulling. Here I'm pinning and striking, and then I pull and push, see? Okay. This paper towel. I want you to scream. This is how we would talk to kill guys in Vietnam. But you can't scream and you cut the jugular. But you don't just grab, you do this. You make a cup, so it's like a suction. So this is what our unit in Nam did. Our unit was called the Shadow Warriors, Death in the Dark. So we do a 4-man team. That's what we used to do. So when I met Grandmaster, and he said the same thing, when you strike to the mouth, like you cup to create like a vacuum. See? So you're gonna go here, here, and then. So when you do it, you turn away. See? See? When I do sweep, I turn away. So don't hit your partner in the mouth. So do this in the chest. So make that cup, it creates like a vacuum. Same thing if I'm doing something like this to you. When I do this, it goes right to the mouth and nose area. It takes the breath away. Let's stay on this technique. Then hit, then do that. You have to be really skilled to get this on. So I may hit, then do it. Right? So I guard up, hit, 1, 2, and take it from there. You throw a hand up, punch, anything to distract you. There's all kinds of variables you might want to do. First thing, you turn in, right? And then you, right? And then you reach around, you grab eyeball, nose, chin, hair, whatever you got. Pull back. And then, okay? Okay? So if I turn, I probably turn into that punch. So when somebody touches you, you step back and cover. Even if you didn't throw that punch, I would take that hand, see? Cover, right? So I'll say you didn't throw that, okay. See, I'm not popping it down. I would just do this, right? But if I didn't know what you were going to throw, I'm going to come to the line. And then I would kick. So as soon as they touch you, step forward. And then step across. So I step forward and then step across. Okay? So the guy touches you, you step forward and then step across and you can strike or kick. Okay? It doesn't matter if I go to the inside, same thing. Okay? Because usually when a guy taps you on your shoulder, his punch is coming. Yeah. Now let's go for a second. If he grabs and my hands are free, I can do that. I grab a thumb, a finger, any digit, whatever, thumb, finger, whatever. Okay? But for here, see what I did? I hit it with my back. That takes the air out of it. Then slap to the groin, circle around, and go up. And then I can hammer fist here, or whatever you want to do there. So you gotta make sure there's stuff in my pocket. Okay. Let's see. So he grabs, I step forward, hit it with my back, around my back. Strike. He goes, if I'm trying to step to the side, he's not gonna let me, so I hit it. See? And circle around. And if I go lateral to the ground, he's just I can't do anything, but if I go up, take a sit or grab it. Yeah. So you're gonna go up like this. Straight up. Don't do it flat, have a little bit in your arm. Now you have to do this right away. If he gets it locked in, it's going to be harder. I won't be able to go forward, see? So now I go up. See, I do this here, so his hands don't come into my throat. So I do this, a double line. So in the form, that's why you have this. But let's not get to that point yet. You have to be sensitive enough. As soon as he grabs, step forward, boom, hit. Now you notice in the form, you go backwards first, then forward. That's done on purpose wrong. That was shown wrong. So if people were watching the masters back in the old days, they couldn't figure out the application. So as soon as he grabs, step forward. Hit with your back, do it. Circle around, go up. Okay. Try that forward. Here you go. Form, we do this, and we stand up straight. Back in the old days, people had us doing this. I'll say ping pong. So what happens is, I step forward, hit him in the groin, and then when I go into a say ping pong, I drop down, and he falls on my thigh, breaks his back, breaks his lower back. That was the original way we did it, remember? Back in the old days. And people got lazy, so people just started keeping them stand up straight like this. So either way works. I'm a little guy. When a big guy gets me and I can't get out, so grab me. You're not a big guy. So when he grabs you, if you can't get out, sink your weight and go back. Throw him off balance, then turn to get out. If he's really big, sink your weight and go back. It is hard for humans to keep this balance.